Hello, my name is Luke, and I'm going to talk about Constellation, which is a new EP, a collection of pieces based off material from the upcoming Bethesda game called Starfield. And the material and the music is done by Inon Zur for that. Comes out not too soon, but kind of soon. And this project stemmed from their E3 promotional material, so the teaser trailers, and then also subsequently some kind of location teasers with concept art. And underneath all that was Inon Zur's score, and I thought it was great. I thought it was a good nod to the sound of lots of 80s sci-fi films, kind of a throwback. And I think you'll see if you visit their website, their design language is also very much like that retro type colorings, and I think it's cool. It's always fun to write in that style. So composers like John Williams, Jerry Goldsmith, Bruce Broughton, and I would like to just talk about one of his pieces. He did a lot of the music for Disney parks. Specifically, there's one of my favorite parks, Epcot, mostly because of the food. But there's that big, giant kind of golf ball looking thing. Inside that is a ride, and he did the music for an iteration of that ride, and it takes you through the history of the world. And the piece of music he wrote is just really good. So I just wanted to talk about that. I'm probably spending too much time on that, but I wanted to mention that. And anyway, so my piece is tied to it a little bit in terms of like sonorities and harmony and instrumentation. So it's for orchestra. It's features my friend James McGonigal, who's a wonderful cellist, and we've been working together for a couple of years, and it's always a joy to send him music and then get recordings back and just hear how he interpreted it. He's such a perceptive and sensitive musician, so it's just so good to send him stuff and get like the fresh ears on it. He sends me I'm talking about this too much too, but he sends me a couple different takes, and they're each very unique. And I'll share more at the end about him, but you can find some information about him in the description of this video. Yes, for orchestra, featuring cellists in the first track, and I play the brass in all three tracks. So French horns, trumpets, trombones, and then like a fake tuba, fake trombone, when I just pitch myself down, but still play, not necessarily play a pitch down, but play an octave that kind of rounds out the sound. I'm talking too much about this. The music for the first track is the most plain kind of presentation of Inon Zur's theme, which I don't really know if it is the theme, but it's something that's heard a lot in the promotional material. So it doesn't exactly go where he goes. So it starts out similar, but then I take it another direction, and you'll hear that if you're like me and kind of like tie yourself to under the music of all this kind of stuff. I think it's very enjoyable. You'll hear tons of nods to the old sci-fi, not old. Well, I guess it is old now, because 1980 was like 30 plus years ago. But you'll hear nods to the different type of stylistic orchestration and harmonies, and it was always fun. I love doing that. The second track is Sunrise over Aquila City. Aquila City is the capital of the United Colonies, as far as I understand. I'm trying to just stick to like the lore that they're presenting, because I'm very much not like I would like to go into this game pretty innocent, and the internet is quite, you have to make a choice kind of to avoid or stay away from information regarding that and all these theories and stuff. But anyway, I like that track. I think second most to in comparison to all the stuff James recorded for me. And I just think it has a very beautiful start, the way that the track opens, and there's some nice brass writing that I like in there too. The third track is an action combat track, and it incorporates synth pulses, and synth instruments are something that I have been exploring the last couple years. I feel really comfortable around instruments for orchestra, but synths are interesting because they're like infinitely, they're just like infinite. So you have to kind of go into it knowing what you want, and not get caught in the infinite, because you could just spend years like on one sound and then you just tweak it. So it's difficult for me in that way, because it's like okay, I know like a trombone, it has these timbres, has these extended techniques, and it's like, okay, cool, and it's gonna be unique each player, so I got it. But then this is like, okay, you can do this, you have all these parameters you can tweak, and you just go at it, and it's free. You're like free to do whatever you want. So it's a little bit, it's challenging, because I'm fairly, like, I'm new to it. So and then B, it's just like you have to be careful because you can get caught. But anyway, talking about that too much too. It was a challenge to kind of get the right sound and the right balance too. But I think I did the best I could, and I think it does what it needs to do, which is press the music forward. And it was fun to interweave the orchestra into that. I think there's something that happened in the second phrase. There's a little figure in the strings doubled by a flute that reminds me of something Howard Shore would write. And I don't think he ever dove into like a space sci-fi. But there's a little figure that just reminds me of something that he would do. And I think it's cool. The brass for that, there's no James in that, so it's just the brass is me in that. And that was a fun day. It was a hot day. I recorded that day, so I think some of the recordings you can hear the air conditioner in the back, which makes it kind of like, which I fought for a long. Okay, yes, I was talking too long and I got cut off. I was talking about brass air conditioner. I was a little bit insecure because you can hear in some of the recordings the air conditioner, and so it's tough to like tie it into other stuff because there's that like there's like a distant, not a distant, but you can very clearly hear like some noise in the back. But I ended up just, you can't do anything about it. You can try, but then when you try to like take away some of the high frequencies, you like lose the character of the brass instrument that helps it kind of sound like a trumpet or a horn. So I just kept it, and I think that's okay. I think it's, if it's gonna be a retro score and it's gonna be something I made at my house, or at my apartment rather, it's gonna have some stuff like that. So I gotta move on, gotta go to the next thing, which I'll talk about at the end of this talk. But it was really fun to write. It's always fun to and a pleasure to work with James. He's a wonderful musician. You can find him in the description, like I was saying. I think the best way to see his stuff, or listen to his stuff and see his stuff, is on YouTube. He does a lot of videos where he films himself playing, and does the 21st century thing where you record and you perform with yourself, which is great. And it's something I'm very fortunate to I'm very fortunate to live in this time, because you could do so much. So you can support him there. He's also on Twitter, and I'll put him down there if you want to message him or just interact with him in a different way. And then you could support me by, well, you already supported me by watching this and listening. And if you're interested in doing more to support me, I'm going to try some different things. And those links, financially, those links are in the description too if you're interested in that. I've been doing this type of stuff for about 3 years now, and it's I don't know, it's just what I love to do. So if you enjoy what I make and enjoy seeing me improve and whatever, there's some links down there. I think you get what I'm trying to say. But this was a good project to work on. It was very fun. I'm excited for the game itself to come out, and I hope you enjoy the kind of throwback music for it. Alright, farewell, GG.